Welcome to our shul for those who are coming here for the first time. Beautiful to share so many smachot, so many great moments, like to celebrate bride and groom, the namings of the two boys, wedding anniversary. We remember yortzites. So you heard already that we read, or we are supposed to read a double portion. And so let me rephrase your memory why this happens. The Torah is split into 54 sections. We usually read one section every Shabbat. There are 14 sections that, depending on the year, can potentially be paired together. So two Torah portions should be read on the same Shabbat. The basic issue is that although we split the Torah in 54, a regular Jewish year has 353 to 355 days. That leaves us with only 50 or 51 Shabbatot, which to read the portions. So additionally, like Rabbi Faber explained, for example, this year Rosh Hashanah will be Saturday morning. You don't read the parsha of the week. You read the text for Rosh Hashanah. So this will take, again, away an opportunity to read one of the 54. So this will leave us with a maximum of 48 weeks in a regular year. And that's the reason, if you want to read the full text, you pair them. Now, I decided to focus on the text that we did not read to do justice to the weekend, to the Torah. So we heard about Miriam, we heard about Moses hitting the rock, and we read about a very mysterious ritual. So let me couple of words about a character in the second parsha. The parsha is called Balak, under a king, a very bad guy, who hired another bad guy called Bilam to curse the people of Israel. And as you know the story, every time he wanted to say a curse, blessing came out of his mouth. For example, Ma tovu ole, you are wonderful Israel. This is what he says. And Balak, who rented that prophet, couldn't believe. Guy, I'm paying you money to curse them, and you bless them. So the entire story, it's not my word, it's God speaking to me. What always impressed me is that the first words we say when we come to a synagogue are words spoken by a non-Jew. So if somebody tells you, you cannot learn from non-Jews, bring them to me. Tell them to come to talk to me. I will show them in the Torah that there was a Jew, there was a non-Jew called Bilam, and we say his word as we enter a synagogue. So there is a midrash, there is a beautiful study from our rabbis about this guy, and it says the following. Listen. Pharaoh had 3 advisors. He didn't know what to do with the Jewish people, because they were growing tremendously. So he decided that on the one hand, I hate them. On the other hand, they were valuable property. Should I destroy them or not? So he turned to the 3 advisors and asked them what to do with them. So according to the legend, who were the 3 advisors? Bilam, Yitro, which is Moses' father-in-law, and Job, who has an entire book about theology and what happened to good people when they get, but good people when they get, tough lives. So Bilam said, my advice is to kill them. Therefore, according to the Midrash, God punished him and he ended up in Midian and he was killed. This is Bilam. Yitro said, save them. And Pharaoh exiled him to Midian, where God eventually rewarded him. He became Moses' father-in-law, the person who won the major Torah portion, the one that contains the 10 Commandments. His name? Yitro. And Job didn't know what to say, so he kept silent. And therefore, he got boils, ulcers, all over the body as a punishment from God. So this is the Midrash, this is the text, no more text. It made me think, what's the connection between what the 3 of them did and what they got? The first 2 I understand, Bilam and Yitro. One tried to save them, so he was saved. The other wants to kill them, so he was killed. But the third kept silent and got boils. What's the connection? So let's analyze it for a minute. Why did he keep quiet? He figured out the following. What's the use of speaking up? Pharaoh has already made up his mind. He's going to do what he wants, regardless of what I say. Why speak when it will do no good? So he got boils. Because what happens when you have boils? You scream. Why do you scream? Not because it will help you, but because it hurts. That was the punishment of Job. For when your fellow human is being in trouble, you ought to scream. Not in order to change anything, but simply because it ought to hurt you too when somebody else is in trouble. I like that insight because I think that it expresses a basic human truth. Human beings have or ought to have the capacity to feel for each other, to get involved for each other, and if necessary, to scream for each other. For if they don't, if they always play it safe, if they never get involved, they don't feel the neighbor's pain. Then they become zombies, not human beings anymore. For those of us who love Yiddish and speak Yiddish, or used to speak Yiddish, or read Yiddish, or listen to Yiddish, there's an expression that in my family it runs a lot, and I imagine in several here. The expression is, es geht mir in Leben. Who heard the expression before? No bad. Es geht mir in Leben is almost untranslatable, but it will be something like, it goes me in life, it gets me here, it bothers me, or it eats me up. That's what it means. Question to you. How many things can we say, can you say, es geht mir in Leben? It hit me here. Not very many. We have been a calm, apathetic generation. There have been reports throughout the years that some people don't go to vote because they feel that it doesn't make a difference, or because sometimes weather is an issue at times. I read an analyst the other day that says that 10 degrees can determine an election. People just don't bother going out if it's cold. People feel that their vote doesn't count for much. That's the sin of Job. The Midrash is right. A human being should scream sometimes, not because it will change things, because it hurts. There's much to hurt about in our world right now. Problems that are real and deep, and they won't just go away. That's why yesterday, for example, when we read in the morning that the Supreme Court decided that she is right, she don't need to work for a gay and lesbian couple because she has the right not to do that, at night we had a Pride Shabbat, because that's our way to scream and say that every human being was created in God's image. Will it change the court's vote? No. Will it change our kids' soul? Yes. We need to refresh and revive our spirits, dampen our cynicism and our boredom a little bit, and remind us of the work that there is still to do. Remind us of how many people here, a mile away, and in the world are still starving or living constant fear. How many people here, a mile away, are still in distress, many whose silence screams and no one hears, and that we should. Bilam, Yitro, and Job are three models from which we can choose. One said, yes, boss, do whatever you want to do. I'm right behind you. The other says, no, boss, don't do that. That's not right. And one said nothing at all because he didn't want to get involved. Which one are we? Shabbat Shalom.